Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to FSU Weather on this lovely April Fool's Day.
I'm Ayesha Wilkinson.
I'm Katharine Krueger.
And we got some April Fool's jokes for you guys. Around the world, there was a lot of April Fool's jokes on the social media.
A lot of really, really clever ones.
Yeah.
So.
With Uber, they actually did a joke where instead of getting taxis, they would get boats to bring you everywhere. And some people fell for that joke.
That would be a pretty good time, but I don't think it's true.
Right.
So.
And Petco also had a joke for you guys, a selfie dog stick, where it's activated with your dog's bark.
Okay.
So your dog can take a selfie with you.
My dog will be taking so many selfies. She barks so much.
Right. And Pizza Hut also did pizza beer, which kind of sounds gross, but
maybe not the best flavor.
Right. But people fell for that also. So you guys watch out. There's jokes everywhere today.
Hats off to you guys for April Fool's Day.
Yeah. And so if you got tricked, sorry about that. There's also selfie shoes as well. So, yeah, you can take a selfie with no hands now.
How would you do that?
Well, you just stick your leg up and you just take that selfie real quick. So,
you have to be pretty flexible to do that.
Basically, you got to be a pretty good pro to be doing that.
Oh,
but I'm going to take you to an overview of what's going around. So, locally, you can see around the southeast a lot of moisture in our area and a lot going on in Tallahassee right now. So currently, you can see that moisture leaving Atlanta. They had a lot of rain in their area, but that isn't going to affect us at all. We're going to have great conditions in our area right now. So for the next few days, welcome to April. Slight chance of rain on Saturday. Beautiful weekend coming up. It's going to be great. Tonight, 61 degrees, free and clear, seasonable temperatures. And then for tomorrow, the weather's not on there, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty nice, right? What do you think, Katharine?
I guess you're just going to have to stay tuned to find out later.
Right, exactly. So we got a little bit more stories for you right now. We're going to talk about some tornado warnings.
Weather history for you today.
Yeah.
In 1912, a super powerful tornado flew through Houston, Texas. And it actually broke the water table, sending the very first natural water spout in Texas. So that's a pretty solid weather history.
Yeah, and you got to be careful out there when those tornadoes come through. Like, you got to make sure you're away from those windows, down in that basement, right?
Yeah, they say basements and even bathtubs are good places to hide if you're in compromising tornado situations.
Definitely. And you know, Tornado Alley is in America, so those states, Iowa, Nebraska.
Yeah, even Texas.
Yeah.
Texas,
so
Oklahoma.
You always got to watch out for that. And, you know, they just have to know that safety. You have to have that weather radio around.
Weather radio app, if you don't have a weather radio.
Right, and just make sure, you know, you have a couple spare batteries for flashlights and things of that nature. So, yeah. You just got to be careful. You don't have to worry about it in Tallahassee.
But like we said, if you live in Tornado Alley, that's definitely a concern for you.
Yeah, family, friends, just make sure, you know, they know what's going on around the country because that's pretty dangerous.
It's a big thing, yeah.
Right, all that warm air coming from the Gulf, pushing up, warm air in the...
super unstable area.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just got to be careful out there. It can happen at any time and get stronger, too.
It's pretty scary.
Right. So... anyways, we're going to take it to our local with Tom.
All right, thank you, girls. I am excited to talk to you all about the weather today. You don't have anything much to worry about in the Tallahassee Big Bend area. A couple clouds spilling across the area today. Mainly clear, nice sunny, warm day, and it is going to be great for us. Right now, we're at about 86 degrees in Tallahassee. Nice and warm for the end of the afternoon. A little bit cooler on the inland and a little bit cooler by the coast as well. We normally expect to see a little bit cooler by large bodies of water in the summertime. But for the dew points, those are still pretty peaking up there. It's going to be getting a little bit more humid as we go through the rest of the week here. 61 in Carabel, 64 Apalachicola. A little bit moister by the coast because, again, Gulf of Mexico, big body of water. We expect to see some more humidity. A lot of humidity coming off of Texas, Louisiana right now. In the upper levels, which we expect to see approach our area in the coming days, associated with a little bit of storms over here coming off of the Gulf Coast of Texas and pushing towards New Orleans, expected to maybe reach us with some light storms by Saturday, maybe interfere with that lunar eclipse. This high pressure is going to move towards the west as it dies a little bit. Keeps the conditions for us a little bit nicer than we expect as we're seeing these humidities diving up in increasing the chances of rain for us. But it's going to kind of stay a linger until the weekend. We're going to see that chance of rain come for this weekend and then clear out. It's going to be nice the rest of next week, and we're going to have to look for a pulse coming late next week. Winds coming out of the southeast, 10 knots for us today. Waves less than 2 feet. Very nice conditions for boating. Not much of a chop. Fishing, very nice. 7:26 a.m. for your sunrise, getting earlier and earlier. Sorry, I don't like to wake up early sometimes, but if you want to get that nice fishing in, or maybe if you want to go do a nice surfing session when the waves are a little bit bigger than they will be the next few days, you're going to have to get up early. Tonight, 61 degrees in Tallahassee. Free and clear, very nice outside. St. Mark's is looking at 62 on the coastline there. A little bit warmer on the coast, as we expect. The nighttime, it stays a little bit warmer. Daytime, it stays a little bit cooler by the water there, because the large bodies of water has a high heat capacity. Doesn't like to change temperature as fast as the air does, say, over dry land. For tomorrow, we're looking at 84 degrees in Tallahassee. Nice sunny day for us. Maybe a few clouds here and there. Winds coming out of the east to start the day. That's because of that high pressure is going to be moving towards the west in South Florida. And as that high pressure dies down, we're going to see the less and less of the effects from that high pressure. We normally see a clockwise rotation of wind around a high pressure system, but we're going to see that die down, and we're going to see that wind shift more towards the south-southeast as the afternoon comes up. We might see a little bit of sea breeze kick in, might see a little bit of sea breeze fronts, but not too much to worry about as far as convection-wise, because we're going to stay pretty mild for the next few days here. I am excited to see another beautiful day in Tallahassee. And the dew points we're going to expect to see are not going to be as high as we expect to see coming the next months. It's going to stay right in the 60s, 70s, maybe pushing up into the 70s by tomorrow and Saturday, bringing those chances of rain back at us for the weekend. And then as the week comes to an end, we're going to see those sunny skies come back at us at a high for 75 on Sunday. Nice, beautiful afternoon. Maybe peek a look at the beach. Maybe go to the res if you're an FSU student for free there. We're going to push back into the mid-80s by the end of next week for another sunny week for you. And I am excited. But for now, Katharine, why don't you take it away with another look around the southeast?
Thanks, Tom. We're going to look, like Tom said, around the southeast. So if you can see our radar here, we're looking at Wednesday. This is 6 o'clock p.m., just a little bit ago. You can see a lot of clouds and precipitation moving eastward. So kind of stopping right short of Tallahassee, but do be expecting that in the next couple of days or so. And as we look at our current temperatures, we're getting a little taste of summer. 86 degrees in Tallahassee, which is actually the hottest temperature on this map right now. So that's pretty impressive, ranging pretty consistently over the southeast area. So as you can see, a little bit of summer, but still probably varying within the next couple of days. As we look at our relative humidity, you can see Tallahassee is pretty dry. All of the state of Florida really is pretty dry. If you're looking at Texas, it's moderately moist, but really not much to look at here. Relative humidity is not super bad. And our current winds, you can kind of see we've got a slight high pressure system right here in central Florida, which is sending these winds kind of spiraling, but pretty moderate, consistent winds throughout the area, which is pretty good. And our rainfall, you can look at this and see. In Tallahassee, we're looking at just a little bit of rain, and as we progress, you can see the rainfall just increases slightly. So now we're going to head back to the desk.
I really like those temperatures. It's looking really nice around Tallahassee, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at tonight, you can see, pretty moderate temperatures, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it sounds great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But I gotta ask you, do you believe in aliens?
I wouldn't really know until you asked me.
Right.
But I guess so. I mean, flying saucers and stuff you're referring to.
Yeah, I am. NASA actually built their own flying saucer.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Flying saucers.
I know, you can't believe it, folks, but it's true. 15 feet. It's 15 feet, and it's 7,000 pounds. So that's heavy.
Oh my word, that's a large flying saucer.
That's heavy, but it's going to Mars, and it'll be taking off in June. So yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, and it's taking off in Hawaii. So
okay, so science fiction is sort of becoming a real thing.
Right, but it won't take any humans, unfortunately. So we won't be able to go, but yeah, it sounds great. NASA's doing great things, but we're gonna take it back to the wall for more.
Thanks, guys. We're going to take a look at some of the watches and warnings we see across America right now. You'll see the pink right here is a red flag warning, so that means that it's dry and there is a very high risk of fire in the area. Zooming in on that, you can see it's over both of the Dakotas and further south around New Mexico as well. So if you live in those areas, it's not a good time to be setting up any kind of campfires or doing any other fire risk activities. Now into our current conditions, you can see it's very warm throughout the middle of the country. 83 all the way up in Minneapolis is very warm for the area. 83 down in San Antonio, and much cooler over towards the Pacific coast. 52 in Seattle, and closer to home, you'll see 86 here in Tallahassee. Now our 24-hour temperature change, you'll see there is a very, very strong change. It's very cold in Billings. And along this line here, you can see where a cold front is pushing through and a warm front as well pushing towards Minneapolis over the current time. And into our clouds and precipitation, you can see up in the north there is a lot of clouds around the Great Lakes and along with Texas and Oklahoma as well, which is very interesting. Moving in, we can see coming across from Dallas towards Memphis, there is a storm, so it's something to look out for. It can have some strong weather on there. And back up to the north, there is some sleet in the purple region over Lake Superior, coming across around Michigan and that region. And the futurecast rainfall, you can see there is some rain around Memphis, and the numbers will change as time progresses up there. Kansas has a lot of rain, Kansas City, and especially over here around Kentucky, there's a lot of rain over there as well. Now into tonight, you can see 30s in the west of America, a low of 67 down in Texas, very nice. And along the East Coast, 41 in DC, 61 in Tallahassee. And now into tomorrow, you'll see warm temperatures around Texas, cooling down as you go north, 62 up in Minneapolis. But now we're going to take it to the southeast.
Well, thanks, Sarah. We're actually going to take it a little bit locally. So right now, starting April, welcome to April, guys. Happy April Fools. Slight rain chances on Saturday, but a beautiful week coming up. It's going to be great. These temperatures right here, you can see 84 degrees and 85 degrees on Friday, so that's looking really nice. Clouds and rain right now in our local area. Not much going on, just a little bit of cloud cover. You had clear skies today. It was beautiful. A lot of pollen. Hopefully the rain will take it away. 86 degrees in Tallahassee right now. 81 in St. Mark's, and Carabel 80 degrees. So it's pretty nice all around. We're the greatest temperature right now, so we're looking great. So clouds and precipitation right now, not much precipitation happening until that weekend. Rain moving out of Atlanta areas over there, but we're not seeing anything yet. So that rain is happening over there in Texas. So Futurecast showing that stationary front situated right here, but that high pressure system right here is going to move out of this area and just disappear really. And then we're going to get some great temperatures over the week. Our temperatures are looking like 80 degrees, and that's really nice. It's a beautiful day to go outside and enjoy that April Fools. And then later on, we're going to see some cloud cover, but not too much moisture in our area. But rain is going to come in later on that weekend. So be prepared for that. Get those umbrellas out. So tonight, 61 degrees, free and clear, and nice temperatures. So 61 isn't too bad for me personally, but for other Floridians, I guess so. Tomorrow, though, looking at 84 degrees, and you can feel the spring fever coming in with scattered clouds, but we're going to send it back to the desk for more.
Thank you so much, Ayesha. I love to hear that we have nothing to worry about in the weather as far as safety for the next few days here. Lunar eclipse happening, right?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. There is going to be an eclipse on Saturday around 6 a.m. and there's actually going to be a blood moon too.
Yeah, lunar eclipse, that means the moon is going to pass in... the Earth is going to pass in between the moon and the sun and cast a shadow across the moon, and the moon's going to almost go completely dark for certain regions.
The visibility is going to be somewhat fair from the Big Bend region, but mostly visible from the center of the country, from Central California through the Central Plains.
And if you're not fortunate enough to be in a good viewing spot, maybe there's some trees in your way, AccuWeather is going to be doing a live stream-ish kind of thing. They're going to broadcast a live video recording of the full lunar eclipse starting at about 6 a.m. on Saturday morning.
I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Yeah, so as far as what's going on next, Tyler, I think you're going to take us a look around Florida? No? Okay, we're going to take it back, and we are going to have a confusion.
Yes, we're going to take a look around our great state, the Sunshine State. It is actually a pretty warm day because, as you can see here, the clouds really abated, allowing the temperatures to warm up into the middle 80s. We have some cloud cover way over in the west near Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. You can expect those clouds to come in for tomorrow. That will mean that temperatures will only be in the middle 80s versus the upper 80s where they got to today. Current temperatures around the state, 79 degrees in Miami, 80 in Fort Myers. We are the warmest, being away from the water. We got to 86 degrees. The waters are in the 70s, so we didn't get any benefit of that. You can see we have the high pressure located around the state with the anticyclonic wind flow around it. Winds are coming off of the Gulf in the west coast of Florida. And look at Jacksonville. They had a sea breeze with some strong thunderstorms. A 20-mile-an-hour sustained wind there, 6 miles out of the west in Tallahassee. Current relative humidity really shows the story. It is warm enough for showers and thunderstorms, but we don't have any humidity around, so it's going to be very hard for us to break the cap, which is like a wall above the atmosphere, which will limit the amount of moisture that we get. And 76% humidity in Tallahassee, and Jacksonville rather, really shows the moisture contrast, and they are seeing a couple of rain showers near Jacksonville and off the coast. So if you're going boating in Duval County, you should watch out for that. We also have some military chaff, courtesy of the Key West Air Force Base down there. They're doing some military operations. 61 degrees in Tallahassee tonight, 62 down in Fort Myers, pretty uniform temperatures around the state. 84 degrees in Orlando, warm day tomorrow with temperatures in the middle 80s, perhaps upper 70s near the coast. Now let's send it back over to Sarah with our next segment, or variant segment actually.
Thank you for that. We're going to actually have a tropical weather update right now and take a look at a tropical storm over in the Pacific. Oh, we're going to look at our clouds first over America, actually. There is some moisture over Texas right now and a little bit more over on the Atlantic coast, but that's not where the real story is right now. The real story is right behind me with this tropical storm right here over the Pacific heading towards the Philippines. So as you can see, the storm is called, I believe it is Masic. It is a Russian name for the storm, or place. Sorry, the place, not the storm. Over the Philippines. It is something to look out for if you're in that area. The storm is pushing through. It pushes through across the Philippines. Didn't get to see that, however. Now we're going to take a look over towards Florida. You can see there is a little bit going on across the coast, but it's mostly clear, some clouds pushing through throughout the next few days. And the current conditions in the area, we can see 86 here in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler down on the coast in Panama City, and Pensacola is 78. It is warmer up to the north in Montgomery and Dothan, Alabama. And over in Macon, it's also 80 degrees. And as you can see, 70 in Savannah as well. The current relative humidity, it is very dry in Tallahassee right now. 36% relative humidity, So you might notice that if you're walking around outside. It's pretty consistent for the area with 37 in Valdosta, 32 up in Albany, 41 in Dothan. It is much higher if you go down towards the coast. 80 in Panama City if you're planning on heading to the beach anytime soon. It will still be humid on the shore. And over in Pensacola, it is also 52% humidity, moist along the shore. And now we're going to look at the current winds. There is pretty mild wind right now, 6 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 15 miles per hour over in Pensacola, a little bit stronger with the sea breeze coming off of the ocean. But we have 0 up in Macon, very quiet up there, and 21 miles per hour up in Savannah. Pretty strong winds coming off of the Atlantic coast. And looking into our futurecast temperatures, we can see it's going to be pretty warm for highs, for current temperatures. Wait, yeah, I apologize. 75 Tallahassee, 74 in Valdosta. Very consistent in the region. We see mid-70s throughout the tri-state area of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. A little bit cooler down the coast, 71 in Panama City. And it's going to cool down to our lows tonight. You can see 57 in Tallahassee, so it's not going to be that cold if you were heading out for an 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. A little bit cooler up north in Macon with 54 degrees, but 64 over in Pensacola if you're heading out west. And it'll warm up again for tomorrow's high around 3 p.m. 79 in Tallahassee. We might hit 80, I don't know yet, but it's going to be warm. Definitely shorts weather, I'm excited. 82 up in Valdosta and 76 down in Panama City. The same in Pensacola as well. All right, and now moving on to Friday morning, the lows, it's going to be a little bit colder with 55 in Tallahassee, so make sure you have a jacket. But now we're going to take it to the dusk.
All right. The desk is right, and we're talking about droughts in California, and it is going to be a little bit of a dry season in California. This winter has been pretty dry so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. They've actually had to close some of the ski resorts early this year, so if you're planning on heading out there for any reason, there won't be much skiing now. March was actually their warmest March in a long time. There was record warm.
Yeah, and because they got a warmer March, they had a kind of a drier spring. That means, you know, that risk for fires in California, which they're so notorious for, will be a little bit on the lookout this coming summer, and especially if they don't get any much rain to come.
Especially, it's definitely something to be concerned about. They have started more drought preparedness, and they've actually budgeted a lot more money towards that. So hopefully they'll be able to take care of it.
Yeah, and that's one of the greater things that, you know, meteorologists can help the world out with, is saving the government and, you know, civilians money by, you know, knowing how to prepare for certain kinds of weather events, droughts, hurricanes, tornadoes, stuff like that. And a lot of what we do helps to prevent a lot of, you know, sadness and this drought in the world.
It's very important.
So, and more about the California drought, most parts of the coast and whatnot are pretty moist, but as I hear the central and northern parts of California, and especially the eastern portion of California, closer to Nevada, they're pushing on the eastern half, like maybe Death Valley and stuff like that.
The drought's affecting the inlander areas where the mountains and ski resorts mostly are. So. Yeah,
and that's plenty of stuff to hear about the East Coast. Maybe we might see a little bit more drier weather here in the Big Bend region for the next few days here. Maybe we'll see that rain kind of skip us on Saturday. So not too big of a chance for rain. So you might have a good chance of a nice Saturday, maybe just a few scattered showers.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be very nice then. No one wants to have a very rainy weekend, so.
Yeah, neither do I. I like to go to the beach and stuff like that. And it's very nice, but right now let's take a look at Tyler here for another look at the local segment.
Thank you. We're actually going to do, thank you for that wonderful graphics. We're going to do a reverse chronological order 7-day and forecast. So actually, 84 degrees on Thursday. It'll be pretty warm. On Friday, we get even warmer, 85 degrees. On Saturday, there will be some rain associated with the cold front. And on Sunday, you can see the temperatures really drop off as we go into the 40s for Easter Sunday. So if you have any services there, you should watch out, and we'll warm back up into the middle 80s for the beginning of next week. the FSU Flying High Circus. There's a student night actually tomorrow night. It's a free show for students. It'll be 80 degrees at the 7 o'clock start of the show. Come out if you don't have any plans. That's a great event, and it's free for FSU students. Tomorrow will be pretty warm. 81 degrees in Thomasville, 84 degrees in Tallahassee, 83 degrees in Apalachicola. So pretty warm for this time of year. Our average high is right around 79 or 80 degrees. A little bit cooler, 61 degrees in Tallahassee, 59 in Thomasville. One thing, it will be clear, but with the clear skies and the warm temperatures, we might see a little bit of fog. I don't think it'll be as ridiculous as it was on Tuesday morning, but we could still see some low visibility. So please be careful if you're going out. Beach and boating, less than 2-foot seas, so the winds are not going to be that strong out of the southeast, bringing in the warm air around 10 knots. Sunset is getting ever and ever closer to 8 o'clock at 7:57. Here's the futurecast. You can see we have a stationary front right over the Atlanta metropolitan area associated with a backdoor cold front right over the Jacksonville area, and that will come in across the area, bringing us a rain chance. 86 degrees right now in Tallahassee with a 36% humidity and a west wind at 6 miles an hour. That will bring in the moisture and the rain. Again, welcome to April with a slight chance of rain, and you'll enjoy this upcoming week. And one more thing, because it is April Fool's, I'm obligated to say, go Gators. Now let's send it back over to the desk.
All right, I love to hear about activities on campus and how great people like to interact with each other on campus and nice extracurricular activities. Tell us a little bit more about what we have coming to shore.
FSU Circus is starting its home show series this weekend, so it's definitely something to look out for if you want to go have a nice night at the circus.
Yeah, as Tyler mentioned, the student, staff, and faculty show is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Get there early, get a nice seat. It's just for the students, faculty, and staff, so you might be next to some of your friends you work with in class, maybe some of your coworkers if you're faculty. It'll be pretty nice.
It'll be very nice. And in case you can't make that show, the shows will run from April 3rd to 18th on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on the exact day, at either 2 or 8 p.m. that night.
Yeah, depending on, you might want to look on the internet for exactly what times are on each day. But it's 2 and 8 p.m. Friday, Saturday. I think there's one Sunday show.
Yes.
And it's going to be a nice week to come with a little bit of showers maybe on Saturday, right?
Small chance there.
Only a 20% chance. And what do we got coming next week?
For the rest of the week, it'll be sunny and pleasant with highs in the mid-70s up to the mid-80s Tuesday and Wednesday. Definitely looking forward to that warmer weather there.
You know, as long as we're staying in those mid-80s, I'm pretty happy. But as always, like us on Facebook.com/FSU Weather, Twitter.com/FSU Weather, and on livestream.com/FSU Weather. You can watch our show anytime as well on YouTube. If you miss a show, we do post our shows on YouTube, as well as some other updates. As always, FSU Weather is fun.
And thanks, Tallahassee. Have a great night.
I'm Mazzetti.
I'm Sara Wugofski.